Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Mid-Island Custom Diecast. My name is Evan, and in this episode we're taking a Hot Wheels ID Dodge Charger and turning it into a Ratty Muscle car for the Four Horsemen invitational for the month of April. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already and ring the bell for notifications on future videos. Before we get started with the Dodge Charger, I just want to take a second to remind everybody of the first annual Skid Invitational build presented by Outlaw Speed Shop. Please go check him out on Instagram as the voting starts for May 1st, and you can find my Instagram link in the description below. So here's the car we started with. It is the Dodge Charger. It's the ID. I believe it's a Chase because I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't really care anyway. I'm not a collector. I just like to customize these little cars. So we're going to take this Speed Demons ID Dodge Charger and strip it down and turn it into a little bit of a ratty muscle car. So anyway, let's get at it. So we've already gone ahead and drilled and tapped the posts with the 256 screws. We'll go ahead and take it apart and have a quick look at the pieces of the car. Of course, it is an ID car, so there's that clear base, interior with the front grille and rear taillight assembly, and of course the front windshield and the back windshield, and the casting, obviously. So let's get this off to the stripper with the screws in to prevent the holes from getting all mucky. And here we go out of the stripper, and pretty shiny finish on it. Let me know if you guys know some stuff about these, if that's a Zamac finish or what it is. Anyway, we got a little bit of paint left in the panel lines, body lines, so we'll take the dental pick and clean those out. Then we're going to take the rotary tool with a little stainless steel wire brush and just clean off any residual paint. There wasn't really any oxidization or anything on here, but I wanted to give it a little once over. This also gives me a chance to check out the casting for any molding lines that are on it or anything like that, and I just give it a quick cleanup. So speaking of molding lines and casting lines, we got some obviously across the sides of the roof, and they come down those B-pillars there or whatever, and across the back fenders, quarter panels, and the front fenders. So we'll just file them off a little bit with the needle files. I'm not going to show it all to you guys. You just saw the last video. Hopefully you saw the last video where I did the same thing. We pretty much do the same thing on all these builds, so just be careful not to file off any of the details of the car when you're doing this, and I just do the best I can and file those casting lines as flat as possible. So once we got that done, we threw the 2K primer from Splash Paints on it. This is the light gray again. And we're going to throw another primer on top. I don't know why I did the 2K first. I like it, I guess. It gives a really nice smooth finish. Then we did the Stynylrez primer in terracotta. It's not quite the rust color I was looking for as a base coat, and you'll see why we're doing this in a sec, but it's close enough. So we'll just throw a quick coat of that on top as well. This stuff's really great. It just sprays right out of the airbrush. No thinning, no nothing. Really great to work with. So once that's done, we're going to take, I think this is Acapulco Blue from Splash Paints, which is also airbrush ready and super easy to spray. It is a urethane paint though, So definitely, if you're gonna start using splash paints, remember to wear your respirator while you're spraying. Guys, you really should wear your respirator when you're airbrushing or using spray cans anyway. If you're using spray cans, really got to have good ventilation or just go outside. Anyway, we got the blue all sprayed on this one, and I'm not too worried about the inside of the car at the moment, but I think I do go over it again and make sure I get the inside so it's a little darker. So here we've taped off the front fender and on the driver's side, and the passenger side A-pillar we're going to use the Roman red, and just make it look like the front fender and the A-pillar have been replaced, or I don't know. I found some pictures online and with this exact same sort of color scheme, and it looked pretty ratty, so that's what we went with. And yeah, I probably should have done the red first, but anyway, I put 2 or 3 coats on and it covered it up, no problem. So here it is out of the paint booth and all dried up and everything. I really like the look of the car at this point, and God, maybe I should have left it. But anyway, we off camera, I went ahead and sprayed some liquid silver or chrome maybe on the engine, the front grille, and the rear bumper. I did leave the taillights that were already painted from Hot Wheels, so I left, just taped that off in there and only painted the bumper. I also kind of sanded off the ID logo off the license plate. Anyway, there you saw the tires, the wheels we're going to go with. Here they are fitted on there. I'm not going to worry about slamming this down to the ground or anything. You know, I pictured this car as a Ratty Muscle car, just sort of, you know, engine swapped out and typical stance. Plus the ID base is real hard to flatten out, and I just didn't have the time to do it. Anyway, here's where that terracotta base coat comes in. I'm just going to take a little wet dry sandpaper and a wet sand some of the top layer of paint off, leaving the bottom layer sort of as rust spots or patina, whatever you want to call it. And then we'll go over the whole thing with the typhus corrosion and riser rust from a Games Workshop or Citadel. Anyway, here's all the pieces that we've got all finished up. You can see I've got the wheels in there, I've got the base painted up, detailed, and that's ready to go. There's the interior grille and bumper, as we saw in the last little clip. There you can see those taillights from the factory. I just left them in there. I didn't think I could do any better than that. Windshield, I did sort of put some powder on it just to make it look a little dirty. And there is the finished body with all the details done and the weathering. So a reminder as I put it back together here what we started with. And now here is the finished product. So yeah, I don't know. You saw what we did here. We stripped it down. We threw on a few coats of paint, sanded off a bit of paint, added some of the typhus corrosion and riser rust, and I did go over it with some weathering powders as well. Swapped the wheels out for a set of Real Riders. I believe these are from Treads 164. Painted up the front bumper, front grille, back bumper, interior, the engine there and stuff, and yeah. Anyway, pretty happy with the results here. Could have been a little better, but anyway, let me know what you guys think, and in the comments below, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and yeah, that's it, I guess. We'll see you on the next one.